It's without
So
wasting any further time.
yeah, we can get to it. We can get to it.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're saying even if it's like this, we can still download the audio and be able to use it, ne?
yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Okay.
Uh,
I trust
yeah,
your talk.
yeah. So, my brother, let's just catch up from the previous episode that we did 100 years ago.
Everything is fine, man.
Yeah,
Everything is fine. I've never been better. I've never been better.
everything is fine.
And I could also tell you right now, I'm so excited, man. There's like things that are coming up, things that I'm working on. I've never been this excited in my life. I'm telling you, it's like there's a lot of things that I never even thought were an option for me, things that I never thought were possible. Mara, I'm at that space, at that space where I feel like I'm going to be able to accomplish these things. For instance, I don't know if you saw my latest post on Facebook. There's this other friend of mine, a guy that I went with to varsity. So he became like one of my closest friends there. So this guy has what do they call it? A publishing company. So he has a publishing company, and you remember for the longest time, I've been trying to write a book, which I did. Mara, the problems were where was I gonna take my manuscripts? Because obviously, even though I had the work written down, Mara, no one could really have access to the work since it was not published. So
Yeah,
the guy is helping me with that, and I had to go back and redo the book because remember the time when I started writing it, I was like 17 or 18, so I was not really as good as I thought I was. Even now, I think that's what happens over time. You do something right now, and then a year later, you're gonna feel like the work that you did last year, it's not up to the standard that you want it to be on, and then you keep on going back, going back, going back. I think that's how really a progress comes, ne?
yeah. That's how it comes, and I'm happy that you've just mentioned Facebook now because I think you are doing a lot of your practice there. Like I think in a day, I don't know if maybe you trace or check, but you have like about 3 to 5 posts every day, like each and every day. Just put content there, even though there's not much people engaging with it, but you
Yeah,
put the
but I'm
content
always
there. I think
posting.
you're exercising. Yeah, exercising the writing skills there.
Yeah, but you know what I think is happening, man? It's like my mind is
Yeah,
always shooting up with ideas. For instance, sometimes I could be sitting down, and for instance, you remember the self-talk thing that we talked about last time? This is an actual thing that happens to me. So sometimes I could be sitting down, maybe like I'm feeling down or somehow. So there's this, I don't know what it is, but I think it's my spirit. It just shoots up, and my mind just comes up with ideas. And obviously, you can't really talk about things to people that are next to you because sometimes they don't really even get what's happening to you. So I feel like the best place for me where I can just speak about the things that I think it's there because I can like literally post anytime. I could wake up at 10 and just write down what I think about. And you know what's weird? Because there's the previous years, and for some reason I get motivated, man. So I feel like my motivation for the most
mfethu
usasekhona.
ngisesekhona mfethu i-internet idlala ngami lana. Idlala
Eh,
ngami angisaboni ukuthi kuyenzakalani i-network nje
ngiyabona
iyangicrazy.
ngiyabona ukuthi sengikhuluma ngedwa.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't even know what you lost me.
No, I was just explaining ukuthi njenga-Facebook ukuthi I've done a lot of posts over the years, and then manje it's more like um when I post, usually I post because there's like maybe a thought, or maybe I read something and then it provokes something in my mind, and I can't really maybe speak to the people next to me about that, so I just quickly grab my phone, write that thing down, and then just post it. So it's that. And also I was explaining ukuthi what that actually does for me. I kind of get a glimpse of how much I've grown over the years, because every day when I wake up, like these days, because I've been trying to kick this habit, the habit of like using my phone when I wake up, because now I'm having these routines. For instance, I wake up in the morning and then I go for my run. That's what I usually do. But before I do that, obviously I'm gonna grab my phone, because I'm not really that disciplined to not grab it. So I just grab my phone. I quickly go back to my memories, and I can kind of get a glimpse of what I was thinking maybe like 5 years ago on that day. So it's something else, man.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see, and just to like you've mentioned earlier on, like you are able to trace back and see, we would say, like, has there been a shift from what you've been thinking about, if what you've been like engaging with.
The things that I'm thinking about right now, yeah, definitely.
So you can trace, and even applying that skill, so good say, like, okay, obviously you don't know, you like awufuna ukusebenzisa ifoni yakho uma usavuka ekuseni, but then maybe you should use it, but you should use it for the positive thing, because maybe not using it, it's quite a difficult thing, like, to do at first, to go to, it's okay, like, I'm not touching my phone when I wake up in the morning, but for the sake of God, say, this habit has been there for long. To break that routine, it's going to take you some
It's
time.
hard,
To
yeah.
make a new routine is going to cost you some time. Like, le ncwadi, The Power of Habits, it talks about things eyokuthi for you to break an old routine, to replace it like, you need to replace it with a new routine first, because at the end of the day, that reward ewade ikhona, like when you check the post, that dopamine, you still need it. So but then
Yeah.
in this case, you just you change, you go to, okay, now I'm going to engage with positive things instead of just scrolling down your social media.
Uyabona? Yeah, so I also think vele ukuthi it helps ngaleyo ndlela, because I kind of get a glimpse of what I've been thinking about, and then look at what I'm thinking about right now, and it's been an uphill journey the whole time, because but still I still wake up excited almost every day. I wake up excited, and then I just go about my day bese siyabona ukuthi kuyenzakalani. So what's going on, man? What's happening with you?
Man, I got a new job, so I'm working on a new job now, some sort of a promotion, yana. So that's what I've been occupied on, like, since this year started, and also Hadison's consultant. You know, Hadison's consultant was.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like, I've been spending most of my time there and trying to work good Danakwa there and there, but we're having a lot of challenges. So, and most of those challenges, like, they are financial challenges. So
Yeah.
it's quite an issue. But then I've been working hard as a consultant today because of that fuel strike shutdown thing. So I didn't go to work from the morning. I've been working on applications. So it's a good thing. It's been a good thing for me. It was a blessing in disguise, because I got to catch up with Hadison's consultant and do all those applications.
Uyabona, hayi mfethu kumnandi ukuthi siphinde catch up and talk about these things. Yeah.
My brother, let's talk about this thing. There's a post that you put on Facebook, 28th of June, just about midnight, 23:37. I just want you to tell me what's going on. What was going on your mind? I'm not sure if you're going to still remember something, but
Do you have it written down somewhere? Maybe if you can
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it.
yeah. Yeah. I'm actually on the Facebook now. Your post said, whatever you start, make sure that you finish.
Exactly.
That's what you said.
You know what?
And,
It was just that, or it was more. Was
yeah,
it more, or was it just that?
yeah, yeah. The post was just that, and then you came back to the comment sections, and then you put 4 comments there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what I can say?
Yeah,
Into engiyirealizile mina ukuthi um it's the little things that counts. Let me start by saying that it's the little things that counts. So for instance, me waking up, when I wake up, I have a decision to make. The decision is, do I quickly grab my shoes and go out, go about my day, or I'm gonna do my bed. You see now,
yeah.
that that's a decision. So it's the little things that counts. So now I have this decision, ukuthi, if I do my bed, that's a win. And
Mm, yeah.
that's a win, and then I can go about my day. And this small accomplishment, this little accomplishment, it builds up onto that. Because I'm gonna go for more wins. Konje, what's the post? Why am I even talking about this? Because you're asking something different. Konje,
I
Konje,
think
what's
maybe
the
you're
post?
trying to. I think you're trying to build up on something, and maybe that thing just slipped your mind. But
Yeah,
I
I was
was,
building up on something, but I forgot
yes,
the
yes.
post now.
The post says, whatever you start, make sure you finish it.
Oh yeah, you know what I've noticed, man?
Yes.
When you finish things, it gives you a sense of victory. For
Yes.
instance, like right now, I'm writing a book titled Winner.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, I'm still working on the book that is titled Winner. Um, Most of the things that are in the book, it's gonna be places where I felt like I was not gonna be able to finish the things that I've started, but because I've persevered, I was able to finish them. So it was that was just me saying, Uguti, in order for you to be able to trust yourself, or actually that's what I was coming to, Uguti, in order for you to trust yourself, in order for you to, what do they call it, integrate, in order for you to stand up and say, Uguti, this is the place that I stand and this is what I believe in order for you to be able to do that, you're gonna need to look back at things where you stood your ground, where you've accomplished some things. And the only way you can accomplish things, it's when you can trust yourself. It's when you know, Uguti, I've done this and I've finished it. It was hard to finish, Mara, I did stick to it, and then I saw it to the end. We're
What 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 does that come from? Because the last time when we spoke on the first episode, we talked about your academics, that you started your first year and then you had to drop out, and then you came back to the institutions to get on with your studies, and now you have finished it. So this statement, it's from my point of view, is not something that you just say, or you just post for the cloud, or maybe you're trying to chase the cloud,
Yeah,
like on social
yeah,
media. It's something that you
yeah.
live, because you've started your degree. It was difficult. It took you some time. You didn't finish on
But
academic record, but at the end of the day, you finished it. Where does that
it,
come from? Where do you get that grades to start and finish things?
I really don't. I've never thought of it. Where do I get that grade? That's a good question. I think I follow. What's the word? I align myself with people that are winners. For instance, the reason I can get together with you, the reason we can chill, the reason we can discuss all these things is because you're that type of a person. So I just I gravitate to winners by nature. So I just want to be around people who are doing things, who are winning. So just by being around those people, Nami, I get this thing. You're good to know, man. If Hadison can do this, obviously I should be able to do something like that. So you see now, so I fall in love with the things that are attractive to me, and then now it becomes a matter of sticking it out and seeing it to the end. So yeah, I think it's that. I think where I get my encouragement most times, it's the people that are it's the people that I surround myself with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really understand. I really understand the positive of the positivity of the people that you surround yourself with. They have most of the influence. Should it be your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, like the people that you spend most of the time with,
Most of
you. There's an English say that says the birds that flies together, the birds with the same feathers fly together.
flock together. Yeah. And bengicabanga ngale nto le, Hadison, I was thinking about this emalangeni ngithi actually I do these talks. I mean, I'm the loudest person. I mean, we are born. For instance, you were saying ukuthi I post like 3 times a day. And I was thinking ukuthi actually I shouldn't be the one who's doing all this posting, because Mina, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am not the hardest working person that so there's some people who might say Uti, I'm hardworking, Mara. I know the truth. I've met people who are really hardworking. Like for this guy that I was telling you about earlier, the guy that I went to school with, this guy is a hard worker. This is someone who'd wake up in the morning and his days, they are pre-planned. So like he wakes up in the morning, the lunch is already made. He's in a bus at 8. He's at school by maybe 8:30, whenever he gets there, and then he starts working, and then he's gonna take a break at 11. So there are people who have like this fixed schedule. It's crazy, man. Mina, I am trying to catch up, Mara. Mina, I'm learning these things as an adult. I'm learning these things as someone who's already coming from school, who's done all these things. Thank God I survived. Mara, we are born this whole thing. Mara, there's people who've been doing from high school. There are people who've been studying from high school. I mean, I don't even remember like looking at a book when I was in high school. I was busy chasing girls and stuff. So we are born at sometimes I even feel like I'm not the one who should be talking about these things. There's these guys that I know, and there is these guys who are actually doing the work. They don't really do the talking as I am. Why not intentional?
Yeah, I understand. Because like abantu abafani, like in sort of things, people are not the same. Even in science, there are those people that are going to go deep into researching a certain thing, maybe let's say a certain topic. But then those
Yeah.
people who can research and write about those things and put the journals or the articles about those things are not the people who are going to say let's say you're going to invest to research about a battery, how is the battery formed. Those people don't end up making those batteries. It's some guys like Elon Musk who take this information and apply it somewhere else. So you're playing your part. The workaholics are also playing their part. The hardworking guys, it's you can be able to take their experiences. Like if you can look at the book, Think and Grow Rich, is the experiences of a lot of people coming together to make a subject. So you can just investigate about like Think and Grow Rich. How do people think and grow rich? And then you take all these stories, but you can't make the stories and also tell the stories.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's something like that. So another struggling now these days, we could see how do I balance my level of talk with my level of work? Because obviously I know that I'm doing the best that I can and that I'm putting in the work. But when I'm looking around me, I see there are guys who are going way too far, and these guys, they're not saying anything. They quiet, and I'm not built like that. If I get this small success in this area, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to tell people who know I did this and it was hard. I'm that guy. I speak. That's what I want to do. I want to speak. But the way that you are explaining it right now, ngiyayithola.
Yeah, and there's a psychology in that too, like celebrating each and every win that you do, because remember that thing, dopamine, it works.
Yeah.
Yes, it works when for any accomplishment, even like you've mentioned, like making your bed, like bathing, like all those
Yeah.
smaller things. At the end of the day, those are the things that makes that gives you that energy, that drives like to wake up again in the following day, like regardless of whatever the weather, whatever your mental state, whatever that's happening around you. But for the sake of that feeling, like, you still want that feeling, like kailangazelela ukuthi, like this thing feels nice. Like it's nice when you talk about those things. You go to, okay, I'm doing this. I just finished a chapter in my book. Like telling someone about it. And at some cases, that can make you like. Let's say maybe you're talking to me about that thing. I can say, oh yeah, that's nice, and then add something from what you were saying, and then like I didn't see it at that point of view, so now I can maybe try to translate those 2 points of views into the same thing, and then maybe we can make that chapter to be even the best. Then would say maybe you just kept quiet about it, to write the whole manuscript, and then only to find out to go see there's some information that we could have used in that book as well.
Exactly. And kulento le dopamine ngikhumbula there's this other impact theory. There's this other talk who's this guy? I think it was 8 Milet. Yamkhumbula 8 Milet.
Yeah, I remember that tough guy.
Yeah, that tough guy. Yeah. Is he Indian? Because he doesn't look good. Yeah, but it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, at 8 Milet. What is it saying? Actually, it's important for us to celebrate our wins because it causes us to want the next bite. So I think it's very true. Yes, the more you celebrate, the more you can be able. Because sometimes when I get this feeling, I would say, let's say I've done, for instance, when was it? It was last month. Last month, there's this other friend of mine. There's this other. It's few guys from around I've been like going to church with for ever since I came here. Like let's say I've started this year, then I've been going to church with these guys, and then they had a youth conference, and then they said, "Go to Sakkie, when you do these talks, so tag along. We're gonna be preaching." What's the place? And they recorded there's tapes there. What's the place? Petrative. Yeah, they had a talk. Goodbye. They're gonna be preaching a bit different, and then they said I should tag along, which I did, and then everything went great there. And then when I came back, I was like, because obviously the last time I gave a talk being Sepitori, and it was like it didn't go the way I thought it was supposed to go. When you have something in your head, Mara, you can't really articulate your thoughts the way you want them to be articulated. So yeah, I missed a lot of things on that talk. So I was calm, I was relaxed, and everything it went proper. And then after the service, I just wanted to go outside and scream and say, yeah, why one are you feeling low?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was it. That was the thing that I was chasing for the whole time. Yeah. So so ngifika landini because obviously I had to act proper while I was there. But immediately when I got home, I started screaming, and it's more like this thing it sank in. So the point dopamine, we need to celebrate our wins because it causes us to want the next bite. So yeah, that's very true.
On that note, I'm going to go to one of your posts or go Facebook somewhere around June, whereby you said everyone else is going to be judgmental on you. You need to be your number one fan for real, which means on that note, like it's very important for you to be the number one fan to you, because people are going to judge you, they're going to criticize you, they're going to take, like, for whatever reason, they're just going to judge you. It's very important for you to celebrate that you've accomplished that thing of being a speaker, of speaking out the way you wanted, even though it's not something that you've been like consciously chasing, like knowing what say, okay, so or not July, and then I'm going to be 30, then I'm going to do this preparations, I'm going to talk about this and this and that. But then it's something that came, and then it's just something that came along, and then after you did it, you realize, damn, I've been chasing this thing my whole life. I just didn't know it. But now that I've done it, I know that I've been chasing this thing, I've been chasing this feeling. To celebrate it, it's very important. And to celebrate yourself, to be a fan, how is it important to you to know very well that you are a fan to yourself, like you know that people can criticize this coming book that you're going to write, but because at some point it comes to mental health, it comes to self-awareness, self-audacity, knowing yourself, who you are, no matter what people say, no matter how things turns out to be, even if this book doesn't become a success. But from the previous post that we've talked about, you must make sure that you finish each and everything that you start. Ne? So for you, how is it important to you? How has it been important to you to be your number one fan?
Yeah, whenever I think that's one of the things that make me me. Ukuyibona into enjalo ukuthi nasikhuluma ngosakho umfoko Umalamule, one of the things ezingenza ngibe lo muntu onguye, it's because I genuinely believe in myself. Ukuyibona lokuthi lento ukuthi, for instance, you were saying earlier uthi I keep on posting stuff and then no one is even reacting to them, and I don't even know do people even read this? Why one other thing? So for most people, I don't think I don't think there's anyone who can literally keep on typing stuff for like 6 months while there's no one reacting. Why one danger? Maramina, I do it because, for instance, it's more like you affirming me. Now uzoqhamuka wena uthi Sakkie, you did this well and pat me on the back. Obviously I do take that, but that's not what drives me, man. That's not it. For instance, what drives me is when I know uthi I've taken everything that is inside me, and then I made it manifest. I was able to take this thing that is inside ngiyenze good for the next person ukuthi ayibone. So yeah, I think that thing you would say you need to be your number one fan for real. It comes there. Sometimes you remember when I told you I once gave a talk while I was still a student, and then I felt it didn't really go well. Mara, I couldn't believe that because you did something and then it was a flop. Mara. Yeah, it was genuinely a flop. Mara, because I believe in myself so much, that didn't register in my head. And I remember that was like one of the few talks that I gave around that time. It's easy for you to give up. It's easy for you to say, damn, I just embarrassed myself. Like that's something that everyone has. So the voice that say Sakkie, like I say this thing all the time. Like sometimes I wake up and be like, I win. So it's built up in my persona, this thing. Before anyone can see me, before anyone can affirm me, before you could say, you did this well, man, you did this, you did that, I don't need you to say those things because I see them myself. It's more like Kanye. Kanye is a bit crazy these days. I think it's the same thing that I'm struggling from. I believe in myself so much to the point that I don't need anyone else to see me because I see myself. So, I think one of the important things you need to be able to control it, because now confidence is important. Mara, you also need to make sure you don't cross that line, because there's always that line where it's no longer confidence, it can be arrogance. And then obviously once you pass arrogance, you could be termed a narcissist. Yeah. So I think it's
because what you're doing, you like from the previous talk that we had, like your goal to change the narrative of people, like especially young black people, on like the many social issues that we have, the mental health and all that, depression, anxiety, all those issues. Like, what can you say? What can you say here? It's like, are you going on? Are you on the right path? Like, so far, is it working? Like, what you're trying to achieve, is it working, or like it hasn't landed
Oh yeah.
yet?
I don't know about that, man. Actually, did I ever tell you what is it that I want?
Yeah,
Let
I
me
think I think I remember.
let me let me
Uh,
just rant for a moment. What
yeah.
what is it that I want? I
Oh man, I don't know. I
mentioned
don't
it,
know.
ne?
Yeah, yeah, you mentioned it.
But let me say it on record. Let me say it on record. Um, there's few things that I want. There's few things that I want from yeah, I want to give you the time frame. Just give me a moment. There's few things that I want. I need to be verified.
Yeah.
I need to be on the same platform as this guy. Who's this guy? Have you seen who's the guy? Is it Puluho?
Poloko. It's Poloko. I don't remember
That
what
motivational
what
speaker guy, Puluho. I
is
think
that.
it's Puluho. Yambon,
Yeah.
interviewed by
Utsibo Touch.
Konje, who's this guy? No, Sangam Kotli. Yeah, and then and then yeah, it's Puluho.
Ah
Yeah,
man, I don't know.
so
I don't
obviously
know.
I do need the social media following. Mara, apart from that, I would like to yeah, interview on Table Touch exactly. Mara, apart from that, I'd like to build a brand. If ana nigga, who's this guy? From the US, the number one, from the US.
No,
Now
no,
it's
no.
gonna Tony Robbins is in a studio, but see, it was like 91 countries. 91 countries. The people who were streaming from 91 countries, and then they were doing the thing there. Yeah, so I'm actually hoping we could at some point I get Usasekon.
Yeah, it's a corner partition. The network is not good now. I don't know what's happening.